All right, let's kind of start this today. I think that's looking all right, and minimize my face. Maybe at some point I'll stop saying minimize my face. At some point I just gotta, start. Maybe I'll come up with some sort of catch thing to start with. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. I also apologize ahead of time if you hear my dog sigh heavily. She's pretty close, and she likes to sigh heavily for no reason. So, how are things? Things are doing all right over here. Good rehearsal yesterday. The pandemic and all might not have a concert this semester. We didn't have one last in the spring either, for the same reasons. Though last time I was in New Zealand before coming back, and then being like, okay, I won't be at rehearsal for a week because of being in New Zealand, and I come back and it's just like gone. So I got like one less week than everybody else did with rehearsal, but still trying to make it happen this time. If we do have a concert, it'll be at least broadcast or live streamed rather. So at least there's that to look forward to. Not a huge audience if we are allowed to have an audience, or even potentially have a concert. We'll see. But it's a good rehearsal. Good vibes. Good vibes. And not just the instrument, but just in general. All right. Things to chat about. So I don't know. I was thinking something recently about how one of the parts about working remotely that is a little I kind of don't like. There are a few things that I probably don't like if I just gave it a little bit of time to think about it. But one of the things that I used to do a lot when I'd be like in rooms and meetings, a company I work for at right now doesn't give laptops to developers. Kind of a strange thing. Basically, everywhere else you go, like that's the first thing they give you. It's like, oh yeah, what kind of laptop do you use? All right, laptop of your choice. Here you go. All right, thanks. Go do code. For some reason, this one doesn't. Like the people who get laptops are like Scrum Masters for some reason, and like product owners and product management, people doing businessy stuff, probably so they look businessy, even if they don't really use the laptop for anything. But I kind of digress. So one of the things that like we had to do as devs is always bring like a notepad always to any meetings that we had, because that was basically the way that we'd take notes. There was like a computer, not even like all the time, like even like back further, it was like you didn't get computers in some of the rooms. There was just an empty room that you could go to chat in. It was like and we're a tech company, so that's pretty fun, or a little funny. Yeah, you would need to bring something to kind of scribble on, and I realized that I kind of miss taking notes, like writing notes down on like actual paper. I started taking to it not at work, just instead of writing down ideas like on like in just like documents or like Notepad or Notepad++ or something, but just like writing things down, just going to sit on the couch, think for a bit, and write down my thoughts, just to kind of get that feeling again. I kind of just dig it. I don't know what it is about that versus like typing into just either laptop, computer, whatever. It just doesn't do the same for me. Kind of at many levels. It's not just like I don't feel like I'm getting as much benefit out of it. It's just like I don't enjoy it either. Like I go to do it, and I do it these days just because it's very convenient. But I do miss just being able to write things down, or be in a place where the only means of recording what I want to record is by writing it down. And maybe that's in part because when I didn't have things to write down, the main thing I'd start doing is just doodling all around the notepad. So you'd get like a lot of just cursive of one word over and over again, or like I start like just signing my name for some reason over and over again, or just drawing little shapes, or drawing a very basic shape and then filling it in with little cross hatches. I don't know, like that stuff was just a good way to pass time, but for some reason was never so distracting that I didn't know what was going on. Whenever there was something I wanted to write down, I'd be able to switch right back over to doing it. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I have to be like hyper engaged, or I'm always looking at people in like video chats, or having to listen constantly, but I don't get to have that little bit of release, like in between all of the listening and potentially talking. So even when I was talking, it was kind of like I could still like doodle and chat at the same time, or make notes while others are kind of talking in between me saying something. I don't know why. It's just kind of, one, harder to do that, just typing on a keyboard. Two, it's less, I don't feel like I remember what I type as much as I remember what I write. I'm surprised at how little I remember from last year when I started working remotely, versus some of the things that I remember from like 5 years ago that like we only talked about like once, but I remember writing it down. And then like just being able to kind of goof off at the same time, and maybe it was like extra like awesome because people think that you're just writing, but then like you look and it's just like, wow, this looks like a yearbook or something here. But yeah, I don't know. One of the weird things that I kind of miss about having to be in like a physical location and not have a keyboard to type with, just a pen and paper. Kind of weird. Oh, maybe it's not weird. Maybe other people like it too. I don't know. It's just, maybe that's just the doodler nature in me. I know I've always like tended to remember things that I write down a lot, and you know, having grown up in like an education system that didn't have laptops yet, we were lucky to have like computers and shared locations when I was in grade school, high school. So, and like very few computer labs, but like it was very uncommon for people to be taking notes on a laptop. Everyone would be writing notes. And I don't know why. I just always, things like that always stayed with me more than I could ever remember having to type something up. That might just be a what I grew up with and what I have experience with, and maybe just the process of note taking helps people, and the process of note taking with their medium of choice helps them more. I don't know. I still kind of dig just writing it down physically and being able to goof off and doodle a little bit at the same time. It's kind of fun. Anyway, that's probably enough of a rant for today, or at least enough of a little just chat. Maybe everyone else out there is more privy to laptops, but maybe there's some people out there who like having a notepad out there to doodle with. Yeah, if that's one of you and you happen to see this video, go ahead and chime in. It'd be kind of fun. All right, I think that's about it. We'll try this again tomorrow, and have a great day, and I'll see ya.